Well, okay, everybody, just like multitasking in the kitchen, like I was talking about yesterday, as you cook, you clean. As you cook, you clean. Multitask. As I get my vitamin D, my nitric oxide, my fresh air, as I practice my breathing work, figured I'd talk to you guys about some questions that have come up, as well as some conversations I've had in the past few days with people. It's a good time to remind people of a few things. So let me just answer a couple questions. Once again, it doesn't matter how many rounds of breath work you do. I recommend between 6 and 10. I don't think more than 12 is a good idea because, as you can see, it's taxing, it's tiresome. You're doing things with your abdominal muscles that are demanding. So I would keep it to 6 to 10, maybe every once in a while do 12. And then get right into your meditation. You'll notice that the experience of the meditation is really profound. And hopefully you're finding some of the things that I'm trying to point out within the meditation also profound. Hopefully that's the experience. Question about zinc and can I keep taking 50 milligrams of zinc? Yeah, you can take 50 milligrams of zinc for months, even a year, but make sure that you're antagonizing mitigating the effects of zinc with taking enough copper. So if you're taking 50 milligrams of zinc, I recommend taking 2 or 3 milligrams of copper. So some of this stuff, it's hard to tell how much you need unless you get blood work done, because it's not just copper that's likely antagonized by zinc, it's also very likely iron. There's a lot of studies that are probably going to come out now that so many people are supplementing with zinc. We're going to learn a lot here, but what we do know for sure is that copper is antagonized and likely iron. Now, I am not telling you go out and supplement with iron. Okay, what I am saying is if you want to increase your iron absorption, this is a whole nother topic that we've had. If you've been following along, you're familiar. But if you want to maximize your iron absorption, you need vitamin C, and you need to eat enough meat, and you need to make sure that you have good, strong stomach acid. Speaking of stomach acid, I want to remind everybody that the state of your organs affects the state of your digestion. So if you have issues with fatty liver, you have issues with your gallbladder, which means that you have issues with bile, which means that you have issues breaking down fat. And that's fat in all forms. That's all those good fats, those omega-3s and 6s and 9s, even omega-7s. We need them, but we also need fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, K1, and K2. Stomach acid is critical to break down other nutrients as well. It's necessary to break down our proteins, and it's necessary for the assimilation of zinc and all these other trace minerals. We need to have good, strong stomach acid. Long story short, if we have unhealthy organs, we've got unhealthy stomachs, unhealthy pancreatic enzymes, unhealthy bile. It's an issue. And if that gallbladder gets inflamed, you start getting gallstones, you start getting issues in the gallbladder, it's going to cause pain, often on your right side, often up into the right shoulder blade. Okay? This is not you sleeping wrong. This is your gallbladder crying for help. And if you want to help your gallbladder, start doing the things I've been telling you to do. Move your body, eat less, breathe right. You get the idea. Not just a function of eating less. Make sure that you're increasing your fiber, decreasing your sugar, good forms of fat, good forms of protein, diversifying your fiber, proper supplementation, getting enough sleep. That's really what it comes down to. Basic stuff. Then we can start refining things, other issues, because a lot of times, this is a conversation that I had recently as well, that things can go wrong in the body after a period of time. You can get away with certain things when you're young. They catch up. Sometimes in your early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, sometimes a little later, depends on the person. But things like thyroid issues, right, which has become so common in men and women, more women, because estrogen is implicated here. But the bottom line, guys, is that if you want a healthy thyroid, okay, a lot of the things that you need for a healthy thyroid are all of the same things that we listed for a healthy immune system. That's why something like Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disorder. Okay, it is an immune system problem. Now, there's a lot of things that cause issues to the thyroid, for example. I'm using the thyroid just as an example of things that can go awry over time. Okay, we could talk about, and we already have. We've talked about the liver, we've talked about the pancreas, we've talked about the stomach. Okay, but if we want to understand like metabolism and weight loss and hormones, it's a good idea to understand, well, what the heck is going on with the thyroid? And we've talked about what's going on there with T3 and T4 and how iodine, when we're talking about T3 and T4, those are in your blood work for your thyroid. Those are iodine, that's iodine molecules, okay? So your body needs iodine. The problem is, number one, if you don't eat seafood, or if you're not using iodized salt, you're not getting enough iodine. And then even if you are using iodized salt, there's lots of things that antagonize iodine. If you eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables, for example, like lots of leafy greens, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all that stuff, it antagonizes iodine. If you don't eat seafood, you're not getting enough iodine. Like I said, if you're not using an iodized salt, guys, there are lots of sea salt that don't have enough iodine. It'll say it on there. Himalayan salt doesn't have iodine. You got to get this clear. Now, there's also other things that block iodine, and it's right in your drinking water. Fluoride, okay, antagonizes iodine. It competes for iodine. It doesn't antagonize it, it competes. Bromine competes, and that's in a lot of flour. So there are these other factors here that compete. And Jordan did a whole thing on this within the year on iodine and what's happening here. But my point is that if we want a healthy thyroid, we got to understand all of the things, just like we did when we went back on COVID-19, and we made sure you understood everything about vitamin A, everything about vitamin D, right? Zinc, selenium, C, all this stuff. I'm just using iodine as an example. But like I said, you also need so many other critical nutrients for a healthy thyroid, including zinc, including selenium, both of which we talked about for a healthy immune system. So you get the idea? So guys, really, at the end of the day, bottom line is nutrient density. Get enough sleep. Don't eat too much. Move your body. Learn some things each day. Get your breath work in, and you're going to have a very, very healthy body, and a body that wants and is ready to do more work for you instead of against you. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.